Oh, hi, and how are you doing out there in internet land? My name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative, and welcome to the Monday edition of Chattin on the Porch. A fun little live stream we do Monday through Thursday nights, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, on Rumble, on Twitter, and that quaint little alternative social media platform known as YouTube, where we get together and we talk about some of the headlines from the day. And in this case, we also catch up with some stuff from the weekend that may have happened since we last met for brunch on Saturday morning. So with that said, why don't you pull yourself up a chair, pour yourself a cup of coffee or another beverage of your choice, and let's sit down and go over some of the things in the news, see if we can't figure out what the heck is going on in the world. And oh, believe me, there is a lot going on in the world. Some of it good, some bad, and some everywhere in between. Again, my name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative. I am known to some as the fine fella in the fedora. Sometimes I'm known as the beau in the chapeau. But above all else, I am known as your one and only host. Again, we are on Rumble, we are on Twitter, and we are on YouTube, that quaint little alternative social media platform. The reason we call it quaint and alternative is for some strange reason they have very peculiar ideas about freedom of speech. But that's another fight for another day. It's Monday, and I'm feeling magnanimous, so we'll forgive YouTube their foibles, at least for now. Or maybe it's better to say until they piss me off, which is frequent. Anyway, come on up on the electronic front porch, pull up a chair, do all those things that you guys normally do. If you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and leave some comments in chat. Hit the thumbs up. Share the link around to your friends. Let's see if we can get this thing growing into something big and awesome and beautiful. So, looks like our normal guests are settling in. We'll see if we can't grab some more people and get them in here as well. Good to have all of you guys here tonight. Going to be a load of fun as always. Oh my goodness. What a weekend. What a weekend. All right, first question. And y'all got to leave some comments in chat for this. Anybody here either really happy with how football went for them this weekend, really sad, or somewhere in between? Just got to know. For myself, my college football team got their butts kicked by Ohio State. Not that I was expecting really any other result, but, you can always hope. My professional football is, Marshall got, they got their butts kicked by Ohio State. But, okay, so you don't care about football. All right, fair. Not even as a Bengals fan? Really? Or a Browns fan? Oh, come on now. Now you're just breaking my heart here. WWG1 says, Marshall sucks. Yes, but unlike WVU, we don't swallow. Anyway... let's see. Man, I tell you what, we got a hard crowd out here. Left sports years ago. Well, all right, that's fine. That's fine. TBA says, what the F did the herd expect going up to OSU? I know. Tiny Tesla says, my son is an Eagles fan. All right. Well, Midmo, your Chiefs won, but let me tell you something. Every time they win a game anymore, do you know how much grief they're getting for the favorable calls they seem to be receiving? Yeah, I'm not saying that's the case. I didn't see the game either, but oh goodness. Let's see, what else? Well, I can understand that. Being a Bengals fan is tough. Is absolutely tough. Oh, I saw that. I haven't got it pulled up, but I saw that. Yeah, lady, if you're wondering what Tiny Tesla is referring to, this lady goes to a New York Mets baseball game, right? And I don't think she was wearing the red and white hat, but she was wearing the Make America Great Again hat, right? Would you believe the New York Mets made her leave the baseball game? Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't really dived into this story real deep, but they ran her out. I mean, just absolutely. And apparently she's suing them, by the way, which my response to that is, good on you, sister. Let them have it. Good on you. WG wants that lady had guts. I agree. Oh, goodness. Yeah, we got wide and varied opinions about football teams. TBA says, if you think being a Bengals fan is bad, try being a Lions fan. Hey, I tell you what, they might wind up going back to the NFC Championship game this year. I'm just saying, just keep an eye on them. Anyway, oh, goodness, so good to have you guys here tonight. And we'll start diving into our stuff here momentarily. And as we do, I have to say once again, not just once again, but also a brand new thank you to all of you guys. As many of you know, my good friend, That Tug Life, was here on the channel Thursday evening for a chat. And we had a wonderful conversation, and Tugs is always a load of fun. Well, we found out she was getting really close to 1,000. And you, the members of Fedora Nation, those who are here tonight in chat and those who watch these live streams on a regular basis, you stepped up in a really big way. Over this weekend, she made it to 1,000. She is now over 1,000 subs. Let me enlarge this a little bit. She is now over 1,000 subscribers on her channel. And I cannot thank you enough. So bless your hearts. You guys, as always, are just amazing and tremendous and awesome. And yeah. And this girl definitely deserves it. She's an absolute sweetheart of a human being. So, and I'm sure if she were here, she'd say the same thing. But on her behalf, thank you guys so much. I cannot tell you how stinking proud I am of Fedora Nation for stepping up and helping this young lady get to one of the goals that she has in social media. So now, she's there, she's crossed the threshold, and we'll keep watching and seeing how she's doing. Yep, absolutely. Congrats to that young lady. Absolutely. Here. And TBA, being the pessimist of the group, says, now we'll see if YouTube screws her out of some fans. Wow. TBA, can you feel the love? I tell you what, dang. And no, I'm just messing with you. Well, they probably will try. Bless her heart. Anyway, no, I want to thank you guys so much. So much. Very kind of you. Okay, let us get to the Merry Memes section of meh, it's only the truth. Well, I mean, yeah, TBA, you're right, but, bless her heart, let's let her enjoy the moment while she can. Anyway, to the Merry Memes section of the show, and I've got a fairly light amount of memes tonight. Oh, hello, Miss Tracy. Good evening, my love. By the way, I will be on her channel this Thursday evening, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Tracy, are we doing that one live or are we doing that recorded? Just curious. Let's see. Oh, also, well, while I'm asking that question, I just realized that WWG1 sent me some stuff. Hang on a minute. I got to see what this is. The Merry Memes section of the show just might get enlarged. Oh, yes. I saw that one from earlier. So, yeah, that one's getting thrown into the mix. Let me see what else we have here. Oh, we're doing it live. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. If you guys know the reference on that one, you're really cool enough to be my friends. All right, hang on, man. I got to throw some stuff in here from WWG1. Or see if I can throw it in here. Let's probably. Oh, that one. Oh. Woo. Yeah, okay. We're gonna risk it. We're gonna risk it. That was just too good not to throw in. You're awful, but that's just like, it's wholly inappropriate. But you know what? It is kind of funny. Okay, that one, and let me make sure I got them all. Hang on a second, guys. Oh yeah, and it's funny you bring that up. Funny you should bring that up, Tracy, because some of the memes I've got are kind of related to that. Oh my goodness, that's just WWG1. You can hear the chuckling from over here. Says TBA. Oh, you're absolutely right. You're right. Yeah, we're gonna take a deep dive into the whole Diddy situation, because I tell you what, man, that thing has got daggone. Anyway, to the merry memes section of the show. And, this whole thing out of Springfield, Ohio is causing some very, very serious ramifications, not just politically, but culturally around the country. And we got a piece of news today as it relates to the whole Springfield, Ohio situation. As you all are well aware, the influx of Haitian immigrants is causing some serious cultural clashes, particularly as it relates to family pets, because there's been a large outbreak of reports by residents of the city that their dogs and particularly their cats are going missing. Well, look, I'm just going to let it speak for itself. We have breaking news out of Springfield, Ohio. Out of an abundance of caution, the National Touring Company of Cats has been canceled for the upcoming Springfield dates. Man, yeah, things are tough when you got that kind of thing happening. So if any of you were looking forward to seeing this magnificent Broadway musical in Springfield, Ohio, I got bad news for you. It's not going to happen. Now, it may very well be that this gets maybe rerouted to Columbus or something like that. But as of right now, if you had tickets to see the musical Cats in Springfield, Ohio, I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen, folks. I'm very sorry. Like I say, it's a bad situation. That's just all I can tell you. It's just a really bad situation. That's a good, dear. That is a really good point. I totally agree with that one. Zippy over on Rumble says, "Pussy's afraid of being eaten." Well, get me. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Just saying. Now, this is very true too. Very true. Yep. Now, I said there's a lot of different ramifications that are happening because of all this. And I tell you what, this thing out of Springfield, Ohio is running the risk of copyright infringement for a lot of different things. And apparently some people in the culinary industry are starting to get some really weird ideas about what they should do in this situation. Have you guys seen this on the market yet? I don't know. Look, maybe this is going to take off. Maybe it will be a short-lived, thing. Maybe, I guess the manufacturers of this stuff are kind of figuring, well, we might as well jump in while the water's hot, or boiling water in this case. I don't know. And for the record, I have heard no reviews on this stuff. I don't know if it helps with the taste, hurts the taste, what? I'm just saying, but apparently some young entrepreneurial minded folks apparently think that this is going to be a thing in the future. I don't know. So take it for what it's worth. Oh, that's awful. That's just, I disavow. That's bad. Oh, jeez. God, you guys are awful. WWG1 over on Rumble says, it tastes like chicken. This audience, I tell you, you can't take them anywhere. Jeez. However, all right, so Persians are chewy, but tabbies are pretty good. Well, I'll remember that the next time I am on the prowl, so to speak. Just saying. However, something else that's sort of come out of this whole Springfield situation is apparently, and you can understand why. Okay. Oh, wait. Crap. What am I doing? I'm killing the joke. One of the things that is coming out of this is that the citizens of Springfield are kind of taking self-defense classes now more seriously, or taking advantage of them. Okay. A lot of reports of gun ownership classes, that sort of thing. And even the pets are getting into it. I don't know. This was something that I guess was kind of floating around Springfield. I don't know if this is like a motivational poster, but a motivational poster, or if this is like a, or what. But yeah, these have been seen tacked up around town, I guess, on telephone poles, stuff like that. I don't know if it's an advertisement for like a judo class or what. So, there you go. Blocked ad runner says, new recipes for putties. Well, my friend, I don't know. Well, let me back this up a second. I don't know if this constitutes a new recipe, but this is something that's being added apparently. I'm just saying. But, there you go. And one last one. And again, I think we'd mentioned this before, but it's definitely worth talking about. Yard signs are a good measure of how things are going in a political campaign. And I tell you what, I'm hearing reports all over Virginia. And by the way, now this one I'm not joking about. I'm serious. Keep your eyes on Virginia. Okay? I'm serious about this. Keep your eyes on the state of Virginia. There's something going on there politically. But if yard signs are an indication of how things are going, Kamala Harris might come up behind Trump and garage sales. Just saying. So there you go. So I got to thank Gypsy for some of those, because those are like really cute. She forwarded those to me today, and we do have a couple more. Now, one other thing to stop and consider. Lest you think that no one cares about what's going on in Springfield, Ohio, or anything else in the nation, right? Joe Biden, our president, is absolutely on the case. And matter of fact, he held a press conference today to announce that he was keeping a really strict eye on what was happening in Ohio and around the country right now, especially as we're rolling toward the election. I don't know, though. I don't know if keeping an eye like this is really all that good for Joe, or all that really calming for we, the American people. But I don't know, guys. He says he's keeping an eye on things with gritted teeth, apparently. So there you go. There you go. Joe is on the case. Thank God for that. All right, a couple more merry memes, and we'll get into some news. A lot has been, speaking of Diddy, my good friend Tracy and I this Thursday night will be on her channel talking about all things Shan P. Diddy Combs. 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central on Gen X Marks the Spot. And let me tell you something. I mean, if you've ever listened in on one of my friend Tracy in one of her videos, she gets down in the weeds on some stuff. So we're gonna do our best to get into all things about this, because like I said, this whole P. Diddy story has got all kinds of angles to it. Now, much has been made of these supposed tapes, videos that Shan P. Diddy Combs has. Well, while much has been made about the videos, there are also photographs. I know you're thinking, photographs, really? Well, we managed to get our hands on one of them, and I guess this one falls under the category of bad life decisions. I mean, I think this was the morning after the party. I don't know, man. That crew's looking rough. That crew is really, really looking rough. Like I say, I think this is a picture of the morning after a P. Diddy party. So, yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, look, if those are the photos, can you imagine what's on the tapes? Just saying. Let's see. We're going balls deep on the whole Diddy story. Well, I'm sure, from the sound of it, dear, there were people going balls deep in that whole situation, but in all kinds of other ways. We'll just leave that right there. Okay. So I got to thank WWG1 for that one. And I've got one more from WWG1. And this one's pretty good. TBA says, poor Kermit. He looks like he's in rough shape. Yeah. I heard about this when Prime Minister Modi from India was here. Oh, God. Yeah. Blocked Ad Runner says, guess Kermit would rather have been with Miss Piggy. Would rather have been, maybe. And for those of you who are music lovers, we've got one last meme, and this one's actually pretty good. So I think you'll get a kick out of this. There she was, just walking down the street singing. Did it do? Holding my hands and shuffling with the feet, singing, do why did it, dum did it do. WWG1, I don't know where you found this one, brother, but this one's cute. This one is really cute. So much thanks to you, good sir. We do appreciate a good meme. So there you go. TBA says, now I can't get that tune out of my head. Thanks, WWG1. Hey, never let it be said of one of the wingnuts over on Rumble that they don't do everything they can to help out their fellow man. So I am very sure WWG1 was thinking of you, TBA, when he found that meme. Oh, there you go. Blocked Ad Runner says, should we call Joe the first gentleman now? There's a lot of first things I could call him. I don't know that I'd ever call him a gentleman, but I get where you're going with it. Yeah, let me tell you something. That man leaving the presidency could not come soon enough. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not wishing anything ill upon the man, but let me tell you something. All things being equal, the sooner January 20th, 2025 rolls around, I can't wait to get him out of the White House. I can't. So there you go. All right, let us talk about some things that happened over the weekend. And I haven't got necessarily a lot of things tonight, per se, but some stuff that I think is indicative of where we are, at least with regard to the presidential election. Have you guys heard about this story that, well, it's not a story, it's actually true, but this thing is absolutely amazing right now. Kamala Harris issues challenge to Donald Trump after accepting CNN debate. Now, this is from, Saturday, and updated as of Sunday morning. So let's get into it. This is from Newsweek. Article written by Mandy Tahari. We've got the following. Vice President Kamala Harris accepted CNN's invitation for a second debate with former President Donald Trump on Saturday, issuing a challenge for him to do the same. The second debate, pending agreement from Trump, the GOP's nominee, would be scheduled for October 23rd, just under 2 weeks before the presidential election on November 5th. In a post on Twitter, Harris, the Democrat nominee, wrote that she will gladly accept the invitation, adding, I hope at Real Donald Trump will join me, end of quote. Harris's campaign also shared the Twitter post to Truth Social, Trump's social media platform. CNN said in a statement that Harris and Trump received invitations to participate. The proposed debate would share similar rules and procedures as the first presidential debate of the election cycle between Trump and Biden in late June, which was also hosted by CNN. Less than a month after the debate, on July 21st, Biden dropped out of the presidential race and endorsed Harris. Trump was widely seen as having outperformed Biden in that debate. Harris's campaign chair, Jen O'Malley Dillon, said in a statement, quote, Donald Trump should have no problem agreeing to this debate. It is the same format and setup as the CNN debate he attended, and he said he won in June when he praised CNN's moderators, rules, and ratings. On September 10th, Harris and Trump faced off in their first televised presidential debate, hosted by ABC News. Most post-debate polls showed Harris either slightly increasing or maintaining a narrow lead over Trump. Quote, it would be unprecedented in modern history for there to be only one general election debate, O'Malley Dillon wrote in the statement. Debates offer a unique chance for voters to see the candidates side by side and take stock of their competing visions for America. At a rally in Wilmington, North Carolina on Saturday afternoon, Trump said, "I've already done 2 debates, and it would be good entertainment value, but it's just too late. Voting has already started. She's had her chance to do it with Fox." On Friday, early in-person voting opened in Minnesota, South Dakota, and Virginia. More states will start their early voting processes by mid-October. During the 2020 election, Trump participated in the final presidential debate with Biden on October 22nd. After early voting had already started in several states, in 2016, he debated former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton on October 19th. Meanwhile, following the September debate, Harris requested a second matchup with Trump, which he rejected. In a Truth Social post on September 12th, he accused Harris of calling for a second debate because he won the first, writing, quote, "When a prize fighter loses a fight, the first words out of his mouth are, 'I want a rematch.' Polls clearly show that I won the debate against comrade Kamala Harris, the Democrats' radical left candidate, on Tuesday night, and she immediately called for a second debate." He ended the post writing, "There will be no third debate." Earlier this week, statistician Nate Silver advised Harris to make Trump accept a second debate by Monday or withdraw the offer, writing on Twitter, "With her move up in the polls, Harris should stop giving Trump a free option for another debate." Now, I got something to say about that here in a minute, and let me tell you something. Y'all can kind of see, I can already see where you guys are going, but I got tons to say about this. The presidential election is extremely close, with razor-thin margins separating the nominees in several key swing states. While Harris appears to be leading the popular vote, the race will be decided by the Electoral College. The candidate who reaches 270 electoral votes wins, regardless of the popular vote. Okay, let's get into this. First of all, and this comment is directed directly to Nate Silver. Look, you have a hard enough time handling statistics. You do a piss poor job with your current job. Don't be giving anybody any advice about what they should or should not do as a candidate. In simpler language, shut your pie hole. No one needs your opinion and no one asked for it. Now, with regard to this whole thing about this second debate, this next comment is directed to Donald Trump, his campaign managers, Donald Trump Jr., and everybody else associated with the campaign. Not just no, hell no, don't you dare do another debate with this woman. Don't you dare do another debate with this woman on October 22nd or any time between now and the election. Don't you dare do it on CNN or anybody's network. I don't care if Elon Musk offers you to do it on X or Twitter or whatever he's calling it these days. No, not just no, hell no. I think, for what it's worth, I think Trump is absolutely right. The ballots are flying. What good is doing a debate on October 22nd going to do Donald Trump? Now, I know what Kamala Harris wants this debate for. She's trying to blunt Trump's momentum, which, by the way, that's all that really happened with this one debate. She blunted his momentum. Okay? All the statistical, noise from her getting in the race was starting to die off in the polls. Then you have this new event, a debate. She gets to go out there and make some noise and blunts his momentum again. I mean, I cannot stress, and not that I have any influence with the Trump campaign at all, but if there is anybody, and thank God, and he better stick to this. He better stick to this. I don't care how much pressure is brought to bear on Donald Trump. Mr. President, don't you dare take the bait on this one. With 2 weeks to go in the campaign, the only thing that giving her a debate will do is two things. Number one, give her oxygen, which she doesn't need. And number two, it's going to blunt your momentum. Don't do it. Do not do it. Tactically, there's not one good reason for you to do this debate. And by the way, since we're on the subject of it, and Gypsy, you're absolutely right. I mean, you heard it at the rally, and everybody is now widely reporting it. Trump has said he's not doing this. And the reasons make perfect sense, okay? The reasons make perfect sense. As a matter of fact, let me get a little bit into this article. Giselle Rie-Ewing. Yeah. And he's absolutely right. It's too late. Trump told rally goers in Wilmington, North Carolina, the voting has already started, which is true for a handful of states like Minnesota, South Dakota, and Virginia. Okay, then let's stop and think about this. By the time October 22nd would roll around, the ballots are already flying. Screw it. She had her chance. She had her chance. And yep, Tracy, I absolutely agree with you. Winners don't ask for rematches. And she most certainly did not get her gotcha moment. Oh, thank you for this piece of information, sir. We genuinely appreciate it. Yeah, so if y'all get any messages from Dr. Larry Schweikert's account, watch it. Just saying. Appreciate that, Robert. Oh, well, I'll get to this here in a minute. Hold on to that thought, Tracy. I'll get to it here in a minute. But yeah, under no circumstances should the Trump campaign or Donald Trump or anybody accept another debate. No. And there's one more big reason above all else. And I need to remind everybody of this. Well, I should say not necessarily this audience, but there are some people out on the internet. Well, I don't see why Trump has got a problem with another debate. I mean, after all, it's going to be on CNN. He gets the terms he wants. Why wouldn't he do it? I'm going to show you why Donald Trump shouldn't do it. And I will explain this in just a moment. With that, folks, take a look at this. By the way, let me know if the sound is good.
All of that being said,
wait a minute.
It's very important to have
hold
debate.
on. I love and hate my computer. Give me 1 second here. I know what's wrong. I can fix it. That's what I said about a lot of the women I've known in my life. I can fix it. Really, I can fix it. It's all good. All right, let's try this again. Okay. Do me a favor. Give me a sound check as always. And with that, here we go.
All of that being said, I think it's very important to have debates. And we've agreed with Fox on a date of September 4th. We've agreed with NBC, fairly full agreement, subject to them, on September 10th. And we've agreed with ABC on September 25th.
Okay, now I want to stop right there for a second. He mixed up NBC and ABC, but 3 debates. 3 debates. Not just 1, 2, 3. He offered her 3 debates. I want to play this again because I think everybody, especially you Harris supporters out there, bless your hearts, I think you need to be reminded of this. Let me play this again. Here we go.
All of that being said, I think it's very important to have debates. And we've agreed with Fox on a date of September 4th. We've agreed with
before the ballots start flying.
NBC, fairly full agreement, subject to them, on September 10th.
Again, before the ballots start flying.
And we've agreed with ABC on September 25th.
And at that point, the ballots will be flying, but not nearly as much as they are right now. Okay. May I respectfully remind all y'all out there, it's like, Donald Trump owes her one more debate. He owes her one more. Donald Trump doesn't owe her jack shit. Okay? Cut the crap. I'll tell you exactly why Donald Trump shouldn't do this. He offered her 3 debates on 3 different networks. Fox News on September the 4th, ABC on September the 10th, which she actually agreed to, and one last one on NBC on September 25th, which would be 2 days from now. Okay? Offered her 3 debates. The 3 networks came to Trump and said, hey, we're willing to host the debate. Trump said, okay, here's what we got for the dates. The networks are like, okay, fine. Trump's agreed to it. The networks have agreed to it. Okay? They took it to Harris. And what did Kamala Harris and her campaign do? No. We only want to debate one time. We only want to debate on ABC. Give us a debate on ABC. And we want unmuted microphones. And we want everybody sitting down. One debate. We're only going to do one debate. Trump's like, all right, one debate. Went on ABC. And I will freely admit, I don't think it was Trump's best debate performance. Even though I think in the end he was more effective in the messaging. But I will freely admit up front, I don't think it was one of his better debates. I really don't, especially in comparison to the debate against Joe Biden. But then again, a petrified tree stump could have beaten Joe Biden. That's how bad Biden was that night. But all things being equal, he gives Kamala basically what she wants. But in return, Kamala has to give him the debate rules of more or less his choosing, which he got. She had 90 minutes. She went in. She didn't, for whatever reason, something must have happened that didn't go her way. Because, immediately after that debate was over with, on the same night, her campaign is calling for a second debate. And that's not me saying that. That was reported in the press. On the night of the debate, September 10th, when it was over with, maybe an hour. No, it wasn't even an hour. It was maybe a half an hour after it was over with. After a half an hour of it was over with, her campaign wanted another debate. Well, and TBA, you make a really good point over on Rumble. Okay? In the past, when we had election day, debates in late September or October were common. Those are bygone days. Going back to, I think it's 1980, the only debate, and by the way, I want to go that now I remember exactly what it was. I want to go back to something. This comment from Jen O'Malley, quote, "It would be unprecedented in modern history for there to be just one general election debate," Jen O'Malley Dillon wrote in a statement. "Debates offer a unique chance for voters to see the candidates side by side and take stock of their competing visions for America." Miss Dillon, may I respectfully remind you that in 1980, there was only one debate between President Jimmy Carter and Governor Ronald Reagan. The debate took place, in my recollection, it was less than a week to go. It was less than 1 week to go before the general election. So please, if you're gonna be on a national stage and represent a campaign and make a statement like that, do everyone a favor and prove that you got at least the common sense to go look that up before you go pop it off somewhere in a written statement. We have had situations where there was only one debate. Just one. So, cut the crap. Donald Trump offered your candidate 3 debates on 3 different networks on 3 different dates. And all 3 of the debates, for the most part, would have been before the ballots started flying and people started voting. People would have had the chance to hear from both of you, your girl and our guy, they could have made up their minds and then still cast their ballot. Now, because your campaign is losing, you want Donald Trump to bail you out by agreeing to a debate with 2 weeks to go before the election, with ballots flying around all over the place and votes having already been cast. Honestly, let's just flip that around for a second, okay? Let's just flip that around. Let us assume that you actually got this debate. And for whatever reason, your girl Kamala goes into this debate and absolutely says or does something so egregiously bad, which is possible, by the way, we're talking about Kamala, that Kamala Harris says or does something so egregiously bad that it could wind up tanking her campaign. With 2 weeks to go, she has no time. Okay? No time left. What are you going to do at that point? What are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. But yet, if you had your way about it, this is what would happen. No, I'm sorry. Excuse me for using a very crass expression. Piss on you. Piss on you, Jen O'Malley Dillon, and your candidate and your campaign. You had the chance. Trump offered you 3 debates. It is not his responsibility to bail your girl out when she's losing this race by giving her a debate with 2 weeks to go before the election. Hell no. Trump's absolutely right. The ballots are already flying. You made your bed, you lie in it. Now, I can already hear right now people out there like, well, she's not losing. She's not losing. Oh, yeah? Really? If she's not losing, explain some of this. I got a new set of polls here from the New York Times, Siena College. These are battleground states. In Arizona, Trump up by 5. In Georgia, Trump up by 4. North Carolina, Trump up by 2. Minnesota, Harris only up by 5. But may I respectfully point out something to you? That's the state where her running mate is the governor and she's only 5 points ahead. Really? This is an absolutely great question. If she's so stinking confident, why didn't she accept the debate on Fox? Why is it that anytime this woman wants a debate, it has to be on her terms and Donald Trump has to give her what she wants? Well, I gave him his debate terms for ABC. He got the CNN rules. No. That's the only thing he got out of you. But frankly, he didn't even get that out of you. ABC made that determination. And you fussed and kicked and gouged and cussed like a sailor on leave because ABC decided to enforce the same set of rules that CNN did. Although they did one thing different, which frankly turned it into a 3-on-1, is when David Muir and Lindsey Davis decided to start trying to fact check Trump about 15 or 20 minutes into the debate. Yeah, that's a good reason why she probably didn't take the Fox. They didn't offer the questions in advance. He ain't wrong there. Good evening, small time. If Kamala wants to engage Trump so much, then why is she skipping the... we're going to get to that. Oh, don't worry. I got that one lined up. Thank you, though. But yeah, we're going to thank you for teeing that one up for me, brother. Oh, we're definitely going to talk about that. Yeah, I mean, going back to this stuff, she's got problems all over the place, guys. Now, could she still win this election? Oh, yeah, she could still win it. She could. I say take nothing for granted and take nothing to chance. Trump needs to run like he's 10 points behind and absolutely just come on like a freight train. Which is why, if I can give him any advice, not that he necessarily needs mine, no unforced errors. Translation, think before you tweet it. Think before you truth it. Don't give her any room. Don't give her this debate. Don't give her anything else. She had her chance. Okay? She absolutely had her chance. Forget it. She's done. Okay? No, nothing else. Don't give her any oxygen. Don't give her any special favors. Nothing. Just do your thing between now and November 5th. And like that song says, oh, I got a good feeling. I got a feeling like I never felt before. No, 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 no. And you don't, wait, I'm too white to be singing any of the rest of that crap, so forget it. What? I've got a Discord sound going on in the background, and I've got Discord turned off. What the actual hell? This is going to run me crazy. Sorry, guys. I gotta figure out what the heck is going on with this thing. I have not got Discord running. I swear to you guys I don't. But for some reason, every time somebody posts something in Discord, I'm hearing the sound. And it's running me nuts. Ugh. I genuinely hate my computer sometimes. Okay, maybe that cured it. I don't know. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm like, I'd give money to see this happen. I would give a crap pile of money to see this happen. Zippy says, okay, maybe you have a feedback loop going. Need to mute the Discord app. I've got it turned off. It's not even open right now. I don't know what the heck's going on here. Anyway. So yeah, no, Trump, no, don't do her any favors. Absolutely not. She had her debate. That's it. You're done. The ballots are flying, which, by the way, some of the numbers are starting to come in out of Virginia and other places. Ain't looking good for the Democrats. I mean, the request for absentee ballots and mail-in ballots are way down. Now, granted, it's early. It's early in that process, but as of right now, ain't looking good. But anyway, I mean, you got numbers coming out all over the place, and yeah, she's got problems, y'all. She really does. And now she wants Trump to bail her out. Screw it. Screw it. Do not give her an ounce of oxygen. From a political standpoint, this is where you put your foot on her neck. Well, wait a minute. Given what happened in 2020, that's not a good analogy. This is that moment that you choke. Okay, that's not a good one either. This is that moment when you hold your political opponent by the nose and you kick him in the ass. Okay? Just, politically speaking, beat on her like a rented government mule. Let her have it. Let her have it. Oh, and by the way, now, look, if you beat on her like a rented government mule, I don't know that she necessarily needs to be flat on her knees. I don't know. TBS says, beat on her like a redheaded stepchild. Well, now look, I don't want to see redheaded stepchildren be beaten on. So that's why I say rented government mule. But I mean, I understand the analogy. I see what you're saying. But whether or not she's flat on her knees when you're beating on her like a rented government mule, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay, that's true. We should not bring AOC into this. You're probably right. Look, guys, I'm old. My analogies are old. Maybe I need some new stuff. Everybody out there's going, maybe? What the hell do you mean maybe you need some new stuff? Thanks a lot. But you get my point. But yeah, she's got problems and she's wanting Trump to bail her out. Screw that. Absolutely not. Don't do it. I don't care how much the media bitches and pisses and moans. Don't do it. So, Oh, now, Gypsy, I'm gonna need some local feedback on this one. Speaking of signs and portents that point to the fact that Kamala is currently losing, did you guys hear about this story from Sunday? This is from the Detroit News. Muslim mayor of Hamtramck endorses Trump, wants Gaza ceasefire. This is by Luis Aguilar of the Detroit News. Hamtramck Mayor Amir Ghalib has endorsed former President Donald Trump in the presidential race, a move the Republican nominee quickly touted on social media. Ghalib, who is Muslim and a Yemeni immigrant, announced his endorsement on social media Sunday, and it came less than a week after the two met in Flint at a Trump campaign center. Ghalib said he and Trump met at the Dort Financial Center before Trump addressed the crowd, and the former president asked for Ghalib's endorsement. Which, by the way, I'm going to say something, and it's going to seem like a fairly simplistic thing, but it is fairly important. One of the very first things I learned in the business world is this. You want to know why 70 or 80% of most salespeople never close the sale? Is one very simple thing. They forget to ask for the business. They can give the most beautiful presentation in the world. They can tell you all the reasons why you ought to do it. They can give you all the counterpoints to your objections. But 70 to 80% of the time, the reason that they don't close the sale is they do the one thing that I guess they assume that they're doing in the midst of everything else they're doing in their presentation. But the one thing they more often than not do not do, they don't ask for the business. Now, even though this is politics, there is something similar going on here. If you're going to get someone's vote, if you're going to get their endorsement, you got to ask for the business. And like I said, and I love the way this line reads by Aguilar. The former president asked for Ghalib's endorsement. He didn't go in. And I want to contrast this. I want to contrast this with Kamala Harris and the Teamsters. Donald Trump met this man, a Democrat, a mayor of a very large Arab American population, sat down with him, and they probably both went into this thing knowing we're probably not going to agree with everybody on everything. I'm not going to agree with Donald Trump, and Trump's like, well, I'm not going to agree with Mr. Ghalib on everything. But they sat down, they had a conversation, and at the end of it, Donald Trump said, man, I know we may not agree on everything. And I don't know how the conversation went, by the way, but I could imagine it being somewhat similar to what I'm describing. And at the end of it, Donald Trump looked at him and said, Mayor Ghalib, I'd like to have your endorsement. I think it could be huge. I think it'd be one of those beautiful things one of those beautiful endorsements I ever got. And Ghalib said, thought it over for about a week, said, yeah, I'm going to do it. So let's get back to the article and away from my bad Trump impersonation. Among the things the two discussed was a ceasefire in the Middle East and on the domestic front, ways of, quote, breaking the wall between the Republican Party and minorities, Ghalib said in a video he posted on social media last week. The video is a separate post from the mayor's endorsement that he posted Sunday on Facebook. Quote, President Trump and I may not agree on everything, but I know he is a man of principles, Ghalib said in the endorsement post. Though it is looking good, he may or may not win the election and be the 47th president of the United States, but I believe he is the right choice for this critical time. Ghalib confirmed the endorsement on Monday to the Detroit News, but didn't comment further, referring to the video he posted last week. In that video, Ghalib shares what he and Trump discussed in Flint. Quote, he assured that his goal is to end the chaos in the Middle East and elsewhere. He doesn't want wars, Ghalib said in the video. Ghalib is one of the more prominent Arab American leaders in Metro Detroit to publicly back Trump over Democrat Vice President Kamala Harris in the race for the White House. Assad Turf, the deputy county executive for Wayne County, has endorsed Harris for the presidency. But last week, Arab American leaders in Michigan of the uncommitted movement said they refuse to endorse Harris because she has not made a policy shift away from supporting U.S. weapons for Israel in its war against Hamas in Gaza. Leaders in the uncommitted movement said they would still work to defeat Trump and were discouraging votes for third-party candidates. Ghalib's endorsement won't make any difference, said Osama Siblani, publisher of the Arab American News in Dearborn. He is inexperienced in politics, Siblani said, referring to Ghalib. He is a good person trying to do the right thing, but politics is one thing, and what he is doing is another. Okay, let's talk about this. Like I said, I want to contrast this, what Donald Trump did in this meeting with Ghalib, with Kamala Harris and the Teamsters. Now, as y'all may have heard, the Teamsters met for 2 days with both Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Now, so stop and think about this for a minute. This is a union that, since 1992, has endorsed every Democrat nominee for president, with one exception. Okay, 96, when they didn't endorse anybody. Okay, but really, since 1992 to current, they have endorsed Democrat candidates, except this year. And the leadership of the Teamsters met with Kamala Harris for 2 days. Now, you would think they wouldn't even need 1 day or even an afternoon. You would think, all things being equal, you would think that the Teamsters' endorsement of a Democrat presidential nominee would be fait accompli. They just give it to her. I mean, the meeting is a formality. You know it's going to happen. But after 2 days of meeting with Kamala Harris, the Teamsters all look at each other after she walks out of the room and go, guys, I don't know about you, but we can't endorse this woman. We ain't endorsing Trump, but we can't endorse this woman. In spite of the fact that 60 to 70% of the membership of the Teamsters wants Trump endorsed by the union. Okay, I am not letting the Teamsters leadership off the hook for that one, by the way. So you got 60 to 70% of the Teamsters membership that wants the union to endorse Trump. They won't do it, but by the same token, apparently Kamala Harris is so bad that after 2 days of meetings, they still cannot bring themselves to endorse Kamala Harris. But here's Donald Trump. He goes into one meeting with this mayor, Ghalib, and at the end of it, the gentleman takes about a week and says, yeah, I'm going to endorse Trump. And look, Gypsy knows this area better than I do, and I'll get to some of her comments here in a moment. But, and I have no doubt that this Ghalib is taking something of a risk here. Not necessarily physical risk to himself, but no doubt a political risk. Because you got to figure, laying aside the fact that he's a Democrat, man, this guy is going to catch hell in the Arab American community in Michigan, particularly in the Detroit area. You know he's gonna. And yet he still, rather courageously, said, you know what? We don't agree on it. And he even says, I don't agree with him on everything, but I agree with him enough. I'm going with Trump. That's a pretty big move. Hamtramck was a beautiful Polish city within the city of Detroit, taken over by Muslims, much like Springfield, Ohio, back in the late 90s. During Ash Wednesday, Hamtramck would make news across the USA for making the best I'll let you pronounce unpronounceable Polish word number 1 in all of Michigan. So yeah, it's big. TBA over on Rumble says Trump isn't known for wasting his time. Why Ghalib? Look, Well, let me get this city pulled up on a map, and I think TBA I can kind of explain. Punch Keys. Oh, that's how you pronounce it. Punch Keys. Punch Keys. Okay. Punch Keys. All right. Punch Keys. It's a filled donuts found in Polish cuisine. Okay. Cool. Punch Keys. Interesting word. I never would have in a million years guessed that's how you pronounced it. But TBA, let me show you why I think, in part, Trump's doing this. Give me a second here. Hang on a second. I think by geography, I can kind of show you why. There's a couple of reasons. Hamtramck, Michigan. Probably the best way I can do this is on a map. Hang on. Just about got it. Okay. Let me do it this way. Crap. This, at least according to Google Maps, is Hamtramck, Michigan. Okay. Now let me back this thing out, and I think you're going to begin to understand why. Here's Detroit. Here's Hamtramck. That's one reason. Oh, okay, pronounce Hamtramck. Hamtramck. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Because I am from West Virginia and I don't know how to talk. I'll take all the help I can get. Here's Hamtramck. Here's Detroit. That's one reason, is the geography. But two, as I understand it, and Gypsy, you know this area better than I do, this is one of the largest concentrations of Arab Americans. I mean, Dearborn might be numerically bigger, but you have a major concentration of Arab Americans in Hamtramck. It's its own city totally within Detroit. A city within a city. Okay. It's kind of like Chicago in one sense. Whenever you hear Cicero, Illinois, or you hear Calumet, all that, it's a city within a city. So one is the proximity in Detroit, and two is the Arab American population. I think that's why Trump's doing it. Just saying. But yeah, this endorsement is huge. Absolutely huge. So yeah. No, if I'm Donald Trump, to go back to the whole no debates for you, exactly. I would be debate Nazi right here. No debate for you. I wouldn't give it to her. Like I said, I don't care how much the media or Kamala Harris herself bitches, screams, whatever. You don't give her another debate. None. Absolutely not. And you most certainly don't do it with 2 weeks to go and the ballots are already flying around. The momentum is starting to swing to Trump. Don't give her oxygen. Give her nothing. It's time to go scorched earth for the next 40 days. Matter of fact, hang on. 30, 40, next 47, 48 days, scorched earth. Give her nothing. Absolutely nothing. So there you go. All right. We're going to shift topics real quick, and we will move on to something else, which I really want to get to, because this one, to me, if you're needing some evidence that how much trouble Kamala's in, or how much trouble she's got, or maybe it's better to say that she's about to get into, I've got a story that's going to explain those three things in one article. But before I get to that, you have found your way to a wonderful little live stream that we do Monday through Thursday nights here on my channel called Chattin on the Porch. and my name is Brian Trippett. I am known in social media as the Front Porch Conservative. If you are not subscribed to my channel, would you please do me some favors? Number one, give me a sub on both Rumble and YouTube. Second of all, leave a comment in below on this live stream, hit the thumbs up button, and also share the link around. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Okay, with that little commercial, we're going to shift gears to a discussion of one of the great traditions of presidential politics. The Al Smith dinner. Did you guys hear this story over the weekend about Kamala as it relates to the Al Smith dinner? There is so much as it relates to this story that so many angles you could come at this from, but I want to set this up with the news and then a little bit of history about the dinner itself. For those of you out there that are watching this and maybe you heard about this, but you're like, what's the big deal? She's not going to a dinner. Okay. Kamala Harris to skip the Al Smith dinner, a traditional event for major presidential candidates. This is from the Associated Press. And written by Jonathan Cooper. And by the way, here's Ronald Reagan. This is Jimmy Carter. And this is Cardinal John McGuire of the New York Diocese. This was 1980. Okay. Article by Jonathan Cooper, we got the following. Vice President Kamala Harris will skip this year's Al Smith charity dinner in New York, breaking with presidential tradition so she can campaign instead in a battleground state with less than 3 weeks before Election Day. Now, by the way, before we go any further in this article, I have a question. Why is it that Donald Trump is the only one that's ever accused of breaking traditions and customs and norms? I mean, if she follows through on this thing, she is breaking one tradition of one of the best things, I think, about a presidential election. You know, maybe it's not the finest thing about it, but it is a very old custom that the presidential candidates appear together at the Al Smith dinner. Now, you might ask, well, what the heck is the Al Smith dinner? Well, let's get into it. The dinner benefits Catholic charities traditionally has been used to promote congeniality and good humor with presidential candidates from both parties appearing on the same night and trading barbs. Harris's team wants her to spend as much time as possible in the battleground states that will decide the election rather than heavily Democratic New York, a campaign official said Saturday, speaking on condition of anonymity to discuss campaign plans and confirming a decision first reported by CNN. Her team told organizers that she would be willing to attend as president if she's elected, the official said. And now, this makes it even worse. Now, think of how snooty that sounds for just a moment. Well, I'll be happy to attend if I'm elected president. Translation: you're going to hold this over the heads of the cardinal of the New York Diocese and say, well, you know, if I'm elected president, I'll be happy to attend. As though somehow the Catholics are somehow got to hold this thing up like, well, you know, guys, maybe we'll get lucky and she'll show up. No, they offered you an invitation, but we'll get to more of this in just a second, okay? But I find that to be very snooty. Well, if I'm elected, I'll show up. Oh, whatever. Anyway. Donald Trump's campaign did not immediately respond to a question about whether he would attend the dinner. His 2016 appearance at the dinner invited boos when many in the audience felt he crossed a line when he called Democrat Hillary Clinton corrupt and claimed that she hated Catholics. This year's white tie gala is scheduled for October 17th. Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who plays a prominent role in the dinner, has been highly critical of Democrats, writing a 2018 Wall Street Journal op-ed that carried the headline, quote, "The Democrats abandon Catholics." Now, here's a little history about the dinner itself. The Alfred E. Smith Memorial Foundation dinner is named for the former New York governor, a Democrat, and the first Roman Catholic to be nominated for president by a major party in 1928. He was handily defeated by Herbert Hoover. It raises millions of dollars for Catholic charities and has traditionally shown those vying to lead the nation can get along, or at least pretend to, for one night. And I think that's by the way, I think that's a pretty fair assessment. I mean, look, let's be honest about it. Some of these dinners over the years have been fairly cordial. Some of them, going in, these two don't like each other. But at least for one night, everybody's kind of pretending, come on, let's have some fun here. Anyway, back to the article. The event has become a tradition for presidential candidates since Richard Nixon and John F. Kennedy appeared together in 1960. In 1996, the Archdiocese of New York decided not to invite then-President Bill Clinton and Republican challenger Bob Dole, reportedly because Clinton vetoed a late-term abortion ban. Trump and Biden, who is Catholic, both spoke at the fundraiser in 2020 when it was moved online due to concerns about large gatherings spreading COVID-19. Amid the pandemic and economic woes, there was no joking, and both candidates instead used their speeches to appeal to Catholic voters. In 2016, Trump began innocently enough. He joked that Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat in New York, used to love Trump when he was a Democrat. He poked fun at plagiarism involving Clinton, but Trump's remarks soon devolved into bitterness and insults. Well, okay, thank you, Jonathan. All right, I want to talk about this for a few minutes. And I tweeted something over the weekend. And, good evening, Motard. Good to have you here. Howdy, howdy. I tweeted something over the weekend about this, and I mean, I don't know how much that we've got left in the way of political traditions in this country, because most of them are being shredded every time I turn around. But the Al Smith dinner is one of those, I think, frankly, good and positive sort of things. Now, like I said, we can all sit there and debate, okay, how much do these two really like each other and how much are they biting their tongues, really avoiding getting into it with each other. But the dinner raises money for various Catholic charities. Every 4 years, it is looked upon as one of the truly good sort of bipartisan events in American politics and in the city of New York. Okay? There is nothing but positive upside for candidates running for president to attend this thing. I mean, look, when John McCain was running against Barack Obama in 2008, I mean, by the time they held the Al Smith dinner, McCain knew he was going to get cooked. All right? He absolutely knew it. He still went to the dinner anyway. He wasn't out there trying to, gather one more vote or whatever. He took time out of his campaign. Now, look, and regardless of whether you like John McCain, dislike John McCain, that's not my point. John McCain could have done the exact same thing that Kamala Harris is proposing to do now, skip the dinner. He didn't. Why? It was a tradition. And John McCain's like, this is something good. I'm going to go do it. And like I said, he knew he was behind Barack Obama at that point. And probably by that point in the campaign, McCain knew his goose was cooked. He still went to the dinner. This is an event, like I said, that on the whole is bipartisan. It's meant to poke some fun. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a fair way to describe it. It's a roast. You sit there and you poke some fun at yourself, some of the attendees, your political opponent, etc. And this might explain a lot of it. This might explain a lot of it. TBA over on Rumble says, so Harris is snubbing the entire Catholic community. Smart. Well, and that's a really good point. I mean, look, was Kamala Harris going to do really well with folks in America who are Roman Catholic and we're going to vote on election day? Probably not. But why are you going out of your way to deliberately insult them by skipping one of the biggest dinners hosted by the Catholic Church in this country, in a place that's one of the biggest media markets in this country? Why are you going out of your way to frankly be what I feel is deliberately insulting? You and your campaign have been offered an invitation by the Cardinal of the Archdiocese of New York to attend a dinner that goes back decades, that candidates, Democrat and Republican, have attended together for years. This just makes no sense. TBA also follows up and says maybe Harris doesn't want to be reminded that she was appointed and not elected. Zippy says she can't do traditional meet and greets. The cackles will scare people off. Maybe there's some of that. And that gets to another point. Maybe this is insecurity. But see, this is what I understand. You say you want to debate Donald Trump, but you won't go to a dinner where you've got the chance to poke some fun at him in a non-threatening sort of way? That you know the comments are going to be carried. I mean, look, they're still playing clips of Donald Trump, roasting Hillary Clinton 8 years after the fact. Some of these things go down in history, man. I mean, this, to me, her refusal to do this dinner is a sign of insecurity, fear, a bad campaign, being above it all. I mean, and again, you're going, oh, well, of course you'd think that. You're a Trump guy. No. Seriously, think about what I just said a minute ago. You want Donald Trump to debate you, but you won't go to a dinner where Donald Trump is going to be and get the chance in an uninterrupted microphone to jab some fun at Donald Trump. I mean, am I missing something here? Oh boy. Yeah. Trump. Remember what I said about don't give him oxygen? Yeah. Anyway. Oh, that's true too. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Now, this may be the biggest reason of all why she's not going there. Hadn't thought about this angle, but you might be absolutely right, my dear. Absolutely right. Could very well be. They might mistake her for a vampire and be like, the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. Whatever. No, I heard about this over the weekend. I'm like, and again, this is another example of it. They say that Donald Trump is the destroyer of political norms and traditions and customs in American politics. Well, hell, if she doesn't go to this thing, she's just as guilty of that which she accuses Donald Trump of. And here's a chance for, this is an example of the kind of stuff that goes on. Trump's, from 2016, I bumped into Hillary in the back and she said, pardon me. Blocked ad runner over on Rumble says she's afraid to fail. She's insecure. And TBA says it's like Trump when he said he would never call Chris Christie fat. Bingo. Yeah, true. Look, like I said, I may not be the most up-to-date person in the world on modern political tradition, but this to me is a bad move on her part. It's a bad move and it just stinks and reeks of fear. She is scared to death to be in an uncontrolled environment. She does not. Well, this brings an example back to my mind. Where did I read this? Was it Time Magazine? I forget where it was. No, Politico. I'm pretty sure it was Politico. Very early on, after she was sworn in as vice president, she gets invited to some either Politico or Axios, one of the two. Sorry, either Politico or Axios. She goes to a dinner at this soiree at some high-ranking Democrat donor in Georgetown, and is so freaked out by the invitation that she has her staff do a mock dinner so she should know how she's supposed to act. You heard me right. Like I said, this article was in either Axios or Politico, and I'm pretty sure it was Politico. She is just scared, a control freak. Yeah. Blocked ad runner, a complete control freak. TBA says, and I see we've put Brian off by our chat by food and slander. He's given up on I am not giving up on reading your comments. Just that you guys are going like 100 miles an hour over there, and I'm just trying to keep up with you guys as much as I can. Thank you very much. I am not put off by your comments about food and nor slander either. There you go. Okay, small time. I know that's maybe what he's angling for here, but I'm telling Trump right now, don't do it. I don't care if she offers you everything you want on a silver platter. Don't do it. No, absolutely not. She's had her chance. Do not give her the chance to blunt your momentum. Do not give her another debate. I don't care how much she wants it. I don't care if she offers you the world. Don't do it. You're down to basically 47 days. If you give her a debate, especially in the time frame she's asking for it, it's going to blunt the momentum. Do not give it to her. No. Absolutely not. Do not give her another debate. I cannot stress this enough. Now, can I make Donald Trump do it in the end? No, but I'm telling you, don't do it. It's one of the biggest mistakes you could make. You will blunt the momentum. Don't give it to her. Blocked ad runner says, I don't think he will. He's likely playing her. Well, good. I mean, under no circumstances. Why, Gypsy, whatever do you mean, my dear? I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. WWG1 says, I'll have my people call Trump's people. I'll relay your thoughts. Well, WWG1, I appreciate that. I really hope you do. And you let them know. You let Trump know. He can come on here. I'll tell him face to face, so to speak. Yeah, it is a trap. It is a trap. Don't do it. Don't give it to her. Give her nothing. And may I respectfully remind Donald Trump, you offered her 3 debates. 3 on 3 different networks in plenty of time before the ballots start going out. She's the one that pulled the Karen and said she only wanted 1 debate on ABC. Well, we know now why she wants to do it. TBA says if Trump comes on here, Brian will lose his shit. Yeah, I'll probably have to have a colostomy bag hooked up. Well, no, just never mind. Yeah, I will lose my shit. I will lose my shit. But, President Trump, you want to come on here? Love to have you. Just saying. I mean, really, what's Lex Friedman got that I don't have? Just kidding. But yeah, under no circumstances whatsoever, no debates, no nothing. Nothing. Not a daggone thing. This is when you go scorched earth, no mercy. We're to that point. Give her nothing. I don't care if she promises you the moon and stars on this debate. Give her nothing. Not a thing. Anyway, back to this. No, I read about this decline of the Al Smith dinner. I'm like, this woman is absolutely running scared. Absolutely running scared. That's right. Lex Friedman does not have you guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Love you too. All right. Let's let us. There's one more story I've got to get to tonight. And this one is really kind of disturbing. And I want to set it up. I want to set this up with a picture. And it's this. According to Jack Posobiec, this is the vantage point at the Trump International Golf Course that Ryan Routh, the would-be assassin, had. This is his line of sight on the hole where he would have taken the shot at Donald Trump. Now, I want you to picture that for just a second, okay? Just think about that. Look at how clean a line of sight this guy would have had. Now, that sets up the following. This story was out in other places, but I picked this up off of Breitbart. Ryan Routh admitted to assassination attempt in purported letter released by the DOJ. I am so sorry that I failed you. Article written by A.W.R. Hawkins. 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Routh, the alleged would-be assassin in Palm Beach on September 14, 2024, allegedly left a note with a friend making clear his intent to kill former President Donald Trump. Forbes reported the handwritten missive is also allegedly an admission that his attempt to do so had failed. The note said, "This was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but I failed you. I tried my best and I gave it all the gumption I could muster." Routh allegedly added, "I will offer $150,000 to whomever can complete the job." The note was allegedly contained in a box which Routh gave to an unidentified person and which was not opened until after Routh's arrest following the alleged assassination attempt. Since his arrest, the initial charges against Routh have been gun-based. Breitbart News reported that he is a felon barred from gun possession, yet he possessed an SKS rifle on the perimeter of Trump's golf course. ABC 11 reported, quote, prosecutors levied 2 charges against him, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. Okay, I have some questions. First, and I say this with the caveat that this guy is a freaking nut job. Okay. But laying that aside, did he offer a bounty of $150,000 to anyone who actually pulled off what he couldn't do? And let's assume for a moment that is indeed what he did, that he offered a bounty. I have a question that a lot of people have been asking all day ever since the story broke. Here's a guy that only got $3,000 a month, had no savings, no checking, no retirement accounts, no land, no property that he could have used for collateral to get a loan for anything else. Where the hell would this guy have gotten $150,000 to pay off somebody if he was offering a bounty? Oh, well, this guy's crazy. He's out of his mind. That's just him rambling on. We sure about that? I mean, we don't know anything about this guy. I mean, yeah, this guy is so piss poor. He can't even afford a good attorney. He's got quarter-point attorneys. Where would he get the money for a $150,000 bounty? Yeah, and this is a great point. After officials held on to the Nashville shooter's info for the fear of upsetting the trannies, one law enforcement agency won't release it for the fear of what it's going to do in reaction. And the DOJ is just putting it out there like, well, here you go. Really? You're not getting any argument from me on this small time. Blocked Ad Runner over on Rumble says his fiance is supposedly rich and owns the place where he lives in Hawaii. Okay. Yeah, all right. I had not heard that, but all right. And this gets to something else. He's a convicted felon without a passport, and he's traveling to Ukraine and other places around Europe, and he's traveling all over the place. How in the world is this guy doing it? Where is he getting his money? Matter of fact, he was trying to recruit. People to come to Ukraine and fight on behalf of the Ukrainians. Where was he getting the money and the funds to be able to bring them in? Like I said, I've got questions, and the more that the feds let us know about this or don't, the more questions I've got. WWG1 asks a really good question. When did this guy write this note? While he was driving away with one hand on the steering wheel? Does not make any sense at all. I agree with you. I agree. TBA says, sounds to me like the DJ is trying to rise out of the magazine. Okay. WWG1 says, he got his money from P. Diddy. Hey, at this point, nothing that's happening in 2024 shocks me anymore. Not kidding. Yeah. Military Airlift Command. Okay. Interesting. Now, here's a really good point. Absolutely. Absolutely. TBA says, and no charge for attempted assassination. Yeah, that goes to something else. I wasn't gonna put this in, but since I've got it pulled up, this is from last week. Ron DeSantis says the FBI is not being cooperative with his investigation into the second Trump assassination. Says he is concerned. DeSantis blasted the FBI and even related the Florida incident to the Las Vegas shooting several years ago. Quote, they're not being cooperative. Yes, I am concerned. For example, our investigators were rebuffed just going to the fence line outside Trump International Golf Course in West Palm Beach. They don't want the state of Florida to be involved in this. But here's the thing. There are multiple violations of Florida law across multiple jurisdictions. We've not gotten answers about Butler. We haven't gotten answers about things like the Las Vegas shooting from many years ago. And DeSantis is not wrong, by the way. He's not wrong at all. So, oh goodness. Sorry to end it on a down note, but that's where we're going to bring the train into the station. It's about 9 o'clock and you guys have got lives and so do I. So anyhow, thank you guys so much for being here for this conversation about some things going on. And we're going to be back tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. And again, thank you for everything. Comments, memes, the laughs, the fun. And guys, days are dark. Sometimes days are brighter than others. Hopefully we're heading to a better and brighter day. And with that, like I said, we'll be back tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. So in the meanwhile, you guys have fun. I love you. And remember, as always, it's faster horses, younger lovers, older whiskey, and more money. I love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7:30.